Yeah, it's too damn hot, and I've been out of the house all morning, and when I left, I just shut everything. I had every
Yeah,
I don't like to leave the house with the window open, on principle, anyway. So I've drawn all the curtains, and hence I'm scared of drawing this curtain in here for letting the sun in. So yeah, it looks very miserable in here. I suppose I could turn a light on, couldn't I?
right. Okay. Welcome to Grandad and Mr Tech, the podcast where the past and future of gaming collide in glorious glitchy harmony. I am Grandad, who today has been mastering the delights of Double Dragon for the arcade. And as ever, I am joined by Mr Tech, a frame-counting, spec-chasing, RGB glowing wizard who won't touch a game unless it's got ray tracing, 240 frames per second, and a graphics card that costs more than your first car. Welcome.
Welcome. Actually, that seems quite accurate, but I don't actually have a graphics card because
You know,
I don't know. I don't have a gaming PC. I mean, I can't really be Mr. Tech when I don't have a gaming PC. I mean, this is one fatal flaw, but that's who we are now. We're lumbered. So I can't be Grandad and Mr. Aspiring Tech, can it? That's not really going to work. That's a topic for another day, is when Mr. Tech builds a new gaming PC. Because I think that is the future for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the future. We're jumping around a bit here. I didn't mean to talk about this, but let's face it, when you look at where consoles are, I think there'll be less and less reason to need a console in the future, with exclusives falling aside. I mean, the PlayStation exclusives are probably the only ones I would care about, but even those, or certainly quite a few of them now, come to PC. And the rising price of console games, the fact that there's no alternative way to purchase, which you do have a little bit of with a PC. You can have a PC and you can go and play Secret of Monkey Island 1.
Yeah, true.
And you can go and play something new and it's still there. And yeah, one day I'm going to do another gaming PC, but I don't want to sit at a desk and game. This is the problem. I need to have it couch
That is the thing, isn't it?
gaming. Yeah.
Do a lot through, don't you?
Yeah. Anyway, that was a bit off topic, but yeah, I like you. That was a good intro. But except for the fact I don't have a fancy graphics card. I do have the PlayStation 5 Pro, so I've at least bought into the most expensive console you can currently own. So let's go for that. Anyway, how's it going, Grandad? Is it
Not bad.
Is it blooming hot where you are? Are you having a heat wave?
It is currently where I am extremely hot, but I can tell you that only this afternoon I have been enjoying some retro gaming out in the garden. Are you a big fan of summer and gaming? Does that kind of mix with Mr. Tech's world?
Gaming in summer, yeah, it's an odd one. For me, gaming in summer has many similarities to gaming in winter, in that I close the curtains and try and game without any reflections on the screen. I have a feeling you're doing it slightly differently. Your summer gaming, am I right?
Yeah, so I can tell you today, yes, I recently got for my sins another one of those hyper mega tech from Evercade, which was the Technos version. So it's got lots of games built in. I think it's got 15 games built in. I am a huge Double Dragon nut. So obviously the Technos Hyper Mega Tech is absolutely loaded with various versions of Double Dragon. So you've got the arcade, you've got the NES versions, you've got even the Game Boy versions. So I've been trying to kind of hark back to a bit of my childhood, and yeah, I've been kind of gaming in the garden. So um, it does kind of take me back to the old days of Game Boys and um, playing that, yeah, on the move. But yeah, nice summer's day. So I was really enjoying that, and I literally managed to complete arcade Double Dragon today. But like we said before, you realize like 20, 30 years later how short arcade games are. There's literally only like 4 levels to Double Dragon, really. And obviously back in the day, you would be pumping all sorts of 10p's, 20p's into it. So I completed it probably only within about half an hour, but that's the joy of infinite continues, isn't it? So um, yeah, I personally like summer because it does kind of instantly kind of link me back to having a Game Boy, having, a load of carts, being in the back of a car, going on holiday, loading up your Game Boy, that kind of thing. I appreciate that's not everyone's kind of experience, but yeah, I was doing a little bit of that today.
You can't really play a Game Boy in the sun, though, can you? I mean, I have a Game Boy, obviously, and
Yeah.
I don't remember playing it in the sun.
You know,
The screen being just completely washed out. Like you have to sit in one specific place, and
if you get it right, the original Game Boy, yeah, is quite crisp and as well as crisp as it could be. But yeah, direct sunlight you've got to be a little bit careful about. And obviously today with the Hyper Mega Tech, again, bright sunlight literally just wiped the screen out complete. Like,
yeah.
so a little bit of shade. But yeah, it was great. And I say, I spent a good probably half an hour, 35 minutes, just played through straight Double Dragon, and then yeah, just the dawning realization again is like, oh yeah, arcade games were really short, but then you never got to see past probably level 1, level 2 back in the day.
Hmm. Yeah, I should attempt to take a retro handheld outdoors and play outdoors, seeing as I have a fair few of them now. But something about that never has never worked for me. When I get out there with it, I feel too distracted to want to look at a little screen. I don't know. Some part of summer and gaming for me doesn't mix. Like the way I game in summer, as I've just alluded to, is to try and make it winter. I pretend and draw the curtains, and I like that kind of winter gaming feel more, where the nights are dark. It's the afternoon's rolled in. It's already dark. You don't feel like going out because it's dark and it's a bit chilly, and you think, yeah, I'll stick a game on. Whereas I think for me in summer, I'm quite happy to play a game in summer, but if I am playing a game indoors and it's super sunny, some little part of me is saying, oh, "What are you doing? Like playing a game indoors? It's so. Why don't you go outside and do something else?"
Yeah.
So I can't go outside and play a handheld gaming device because I think if I've made the effort to go outside, I should try and engage with the natural world, which I do enjoy. Um, so yeah, all my gaming during this heat wave has been yeah, trying to block out the heat from the living room and just ignoring the guilt feelings of I'm wasting summer by playing Zelda, or sweating my absolute balls off playing Gran Turismo in VR.
Oh,
Which when it's a heat wave, VR is quite a challenge because
yeah.
your head is getting even hotter, and the little chair I've got, which acts as my racing chair, is getting hotter and hotter. And I took it upon myself to try and complete some of the Gran Turismo licenses. I don't know if you've ever done those, but it has these set challenges.
Yeah.
You have to do like a sequence of them, and it's like 2 turns or a specific turn, and you can step through all these licenses. And because I'm, what's the word? What's the word that I am, Mr. Tech, is tenacious.
Tenacious. Yes, you are tenacious.
Because I'm tenacious, I will just hammer this challenge again and again and again until I get the gold, and I refuse to not get the gold. So I did a particular one that was in the off-road driving category, and that's really, really hard in general because, and I'm doing that in VR. So it's like a few turns of a rally course, and you're launching yourself off a sharp jump, and then that feels quite odd in VR to be flying through the air. And so I made myself very sweaty and uncomfortable trying to. Oh, bing! Was that me?
That was you.
That always happens. God damn
That
it!
was always...
That must be another subscriber subscribing to the channel, I think.
That's right.
Uh, yeah, but I did get the gold. Just to wrap up that pointless side mission, I got the gold on the rally track. So yeah, the license experience continues. So yeah, not much outdoor summer gaming for me. Maybe I'll try a little bit more of that. There's too much noise outside as well. You go outside to chill out and maybe play your retro handheld, and someone's having a barbecue, and someone's dog's yapping, someone's washing a car. Like,
It does depend on, obviously, your environment. I get that. Yeah, definitely.
right. So what else have you been up to in your retro summer? Is it fair to say you're having a retro summer?
I would say it's fair to say that. I tell you what I have done, which has been on the cards for a long time. And as you know, I'm a big collector of physical games. And it's the first world problems of not enough time, not getting round to kind of playing lots of these games. So I actually, a couple of weeks ago, I kind of sat down, had a look at all the applications that were available, and I thought, right, what I'm actually going to do is finally audit, catalog, log every single physical game I own on every system. Which, to be fair, was more of an undertaking than I kind of expected. Through various trial and errors, and I must point out we are not sponsored by anyone. But in the end, I found an app which is the IGN app called Playlist. And that, for me, proved one of the best applications to log everything. So it's very simple. It's free. I might have to point out.
Always a good start.
Always a good start. You literally go on. It's very basic. It's very simple. You go on the app. You search for all your games. You click a button. You add, and then you add what format you've got it on. The good thing about it is if you've got games on more than one format, you can obviously add that. So say you've got, like I did, for some bizarre reason, 007 Nightfire for GameCube and Xbox, you can log it for both systems. The big thing is, even I was astounded is maybe the right word, because I actually own 428 physical games.
That's that's more than I would have imagined. That's a huge stash. Are these games that you bought to play, or because I know you dabble in the old wheeler dealing and a bit of boot sale game acquiring. Did you buy all these with the intention that you would play these physical games?
So a lot of these are, yeah, pre-existing games I already own. A lot of them are literally kind of like a watch pile, as in buying them in, thinking, yeah, that'll be good to play. Will I like it or not? Maybe sell it down the line or trade it in. Um, Astonishing amount. I think that's across at least, I think it logged 23, 25 systems. So yeah, a bit a blend. So but the best thing about it I found is that at least now I've got a starting point. Of course, I am never going to have the time to play like 400 games, but now actually I know what I own. It kind of makes it a bit more bearable, um, if that's the right word.
This
Uh,
sounds like the tactic for any any sort of challenge in life. You go and read the guidance on how to tackle it, and it all starts with writing it down. Write down your problem so you know what you're facing.
yeah.
Is that what you've done here?
Essentially, and I will fully admit it is clearly an illness. I mean, 428 games is a problem, isn't it? However, I am now hoping that at least now I can, yeah, I say you can sort it, you can do it by drop downs. You can go on the app and I can literally click a button and go, how many PS2 games have I got? Great. Scrolls through it all. It's very interesting when you do the whole search for the complete library, because you can see what kind of IPs that you're mildly obsessed about. Because when I was scrolling through, I think I've got like 8 or 9 Aliens games, Aliens versus Predator. So again, it starts to give you that kind of insight on your own collection. It's great, obviously, when you're out and about contemplating purchasing games, because you can now have a quick look and say, do I actually own it? Which is where I started from. Uh, Sadly, because I was buying up games and I'd already got them, and it's like, oh, God.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, say I would recommend this app. Say it doesn't do anything particularly fancy with stats, but if you want a bog standard, let's just log what I've got. Let's look at all the systems. Let's look, yeah, and let's say you can easily filter. Um, uh, the challenge now is, yeah, which ones to play, which ones to sift, and then yes, going through which ones I'll probably trade, sell down the line. But yeah, I was really taken aback at the volume of games I actually own.
All that time. See, how long did it take you to do all this?
I would say that took a good, let's be honest, that's got to be a good 3 4 hours to catalog all those.
You could have sunk those 3 hours into a game, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I understand the logic. I mean, I can glance to my right here and see on one shelf all my physical games, which I'm guessing totals about 50. Um, so not very many at all. Most of those are PlayStation 4. I tend to have bought way more digital games
Hmm.
than physical, just because of pricing. I am quite drawn to tackle this myself. I might try this. Hopefully, it won't. I won't have. I certainly won't have as many physical games. But if I catalog all the things I've bought digitally, not including freebies, I'm quite intrigued by that. Just to know, for the shame of it, really, like how many digital games did I buy and never boot up once? That could be quite interesting.
And I think it's that. So I think it has got multiple purposes. So again, it will highlight, as it already has done. It's like, do I need 3 copies of Nightfire, 2 copies of Nightfire? Do I need 8 Aliens games, for example? So,
Do you need one copy of Nightfire? Let's start with that.
well, I would always argue you need at least one, and that's the GameCube version.
Nice. So was there any complete surprises when you did this audit? Did anything come up that you had no recollection of having, and you were like, "Whoa, I've got this. I'm gonna go play that."
It was just, it was so kind of, yeah. What, not any one particular game, but I was quite surprised that PS2 and PS3 in particular were quite high in terms of what I own the most games for. I think they were like 60 games each. That kind of makes sense because I've been trying to update my PS3 3D collection. But if anything, it was just when I looked at it, it was like, crumbs, I've got so many great games. I've got to start playing these.
Yeah, you got to start playing them.
Yeah.
Stop buying them. Start playing them.
Got to stop, basically. Yes, it is
That's
an illness.
that's my struggle. That is my struggle. I've been resisting new purchases this year after a few during the spring when Monster Hunter Wilds came out. I haven't bought too many games. I am fighting the urge at the moment though because there's a sale on Square Enix games on the Nintendo eShop, and there's about 4 there that I've always wanted to play, and they're now that price where I'm kind of, oh, if I don't get it at that price, maybe that's the cheapest it'll get, and it probably will get cheaper. But you have you have that personal price that it dips below,
Yeah.
and you've basically had it. Really, it's now a test of willpower. Like, am I going to be able to resist this? Even though I know I'm going to buy more games, and they're both probably very, very big. And am I gonna just ditch what I'm already playing? Oh, nightmare.
You're right though, because it is, and it's certainly with games that just reach that pinch point of it's £3, £4, £5. You think, oh, that's just a drink, or that's just, that's really, yeah, an attractive price in it. I do the same. I say, I click and buy, and then you kind of forget about it, don't you? But you do want to kind of own it at that point because it is at that premium sale price. It may not go any cheaper.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
And on gaming, um, you do remember on the last pod, I was set a challenge, wasn't I?
Ah, yes. Well, yeah, we can talk about that. We normally save up what we've been playing for later in the show, but let's mix it up. Let's not stick to a mold. Um, let's talk about it. Yeah, the Zelda challenge, I believe this was.
Yeah, so I believe on the last pod, I said it was a bucket list goal of mine to complete SNES Zelda, and I can confirm I have actually booted the game up, and you might be taken aback, but I have played 4 hours 27 minutes of SNES Zelda.
Very good. And I seem to recall the internet suggested that this game needs about 10 hours to complete, or was it?
I think it is, yeah, around the kind of
I've
10,
got
12.
Yeah, I've got 10 in my head, and I've also got 16 in my head. I don't know why. Hmm.
Actually, that's another good point about the cataloging app. If literally once you catalog all your games, and you click into any game that you've got, it will link directly to how long to beat instantly. So I've just done it now, and it says 17 hours average.
17. Okay, yes, a bit more than 10.
Yeah.
You may be a quarter of the way through, are you?
Possibly. I'm probably a bit of a slower player, but I can confirm that I've collected 3 pendants,
Oh,
uh, which I've never got that far in my life on Zelda. And I believe now I'm after the Master Sword. Then I think it goes into a different world or a mirror world. But say this is all new territory to me. I've probably not even got the first pendant when I first played SNES Zelda, which is shocking.
That's quite shocking.
Um,
Is it the big question though is are you enjoying this? Have you is it satisfying to actually sink your teeth in now and
that is the thing, to be honest. And I've been doing it in stages, an hour here, an hour there. But every time I've booted it up, I've just been completely absorbed into that Zelda universe
nice?
and really enjoyed it. And it's like, wow, how have I not played this further back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's the genius of a Zelda game. Not to talk Nintendo again because we seem to always be talking about Nintendo, but um, that is the beauty of a Zelda game. I haven't completed many of them. I will hold my hand up, but whenever I've played one or started one, I have that feeling that I just want to keep going and that they just draw you in. They're very, very polished, aren't they? And I think the SNES one, I should really go and finish that myself because every time I've started that, I'm loving it. Do you
Mm.
think you will see this through? Are you committed to the challenge?
Well, I am,
No, well.
but I
Yes.
do, yeah, yeah, I do have to be mindful of keeping the regularity because I know my problem, and we've discussed this before, is if you leave it too long. I mean, I am Grandad, so I start to forget what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I know now what I'm supposed to be doing, but if I leave it, weeks, months, I will start to kind of lose the thread. And then for me, that then loses the enjoyment because you're not just picking the game back up, but you've got to kind of pick back up the thread of what you're doing. So, yeah. And I am intentionally blocking in at least once a week, playing a few hours of it or an hour because I don't want that to happen because I think that's where I go wrong. I get really into something, then I get distracted, play a load of other stuff, come back to it and go, I don't know what they're talking about now. I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going. And then that ruins it for me. And then I stop playing, basically.
Yeah, you do have to stay committed. I think you need a you need to approach this the way is it Matt Damon who has the funny schedule, or is it that other fella?
Oh, Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg. I don't know why I get those two mixed up in my brain. The one guy that we've talked about before who's got his crazy schedule of he gets up at like 3 a.m. to do like an hour of golf or something and then goes to sleep and then has breakfast at 5:30 and then does 100 hours of sit-ups and then etc. Yeah, I think you need to block this into your diary to get this.
Yeah, I think that is the key. So at least once a week, I know I've got to sit down and play a bit of Zelda. And that is currently working. So I must keep that up.
Yeah. Well, I have also been playing my part in the Zelda challenge.
Yeah.
I've been playing Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2, being a game that this is the third time I've started this now.
Is it?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. But I've now progressed to a point that I've never seen. And I must say, once you get to that point, the motivation and enjoyment is suddenly, yeah, through the roof. I mean, it's obvious, really. No one, you're not going to enjoy replaying stuff you've already done. But I felt like I had to restart because like you described me, I'd lost track of where I am. I couldn't really remember how to control anything. It's not the most complicated game in terms of the mechanics, what it requires of you, but still, I wanted to have that experience from the start. And yeah, just this week I've finally pushed past a point, and so everything that I'm seeing now is all new, and I've seen stuff that I had no idea was in the game. I don't know how I managed to avoid it, given that it's quite a number of years old now. But like some of the sights and things that I've seen, and some of the abilities that I can do that I had no idea I was going to be able to do, and the genius of it. is really showing itself to me, which is great. And yeah, you can feel the addiction building then, that you just want to keep moving because it's such a vast world. Um, there's so much to explore, like, and I don't know, I don't think the SNES Zelda had this, did they? But in Breath of the Wild, they have these little collectibles that you can find, these little Koroks. So you pick up a curiously placed rock, and there's one of these little leaf dudes under there, and you collect these little tokens, and you can trade them in with a guy later to increase your inventory storage and things. What they have a purpose, but they're they have a few different styles of these, so you start to notice them in the world. Like, um, you see a high point where you can jump off, and there's like a little circle of lily pads in the water at the bottom, and you have to jump and fall through it, and that makes one of them appear. So there's all these little things, and they've done a brilliant job of kind of leading you to these, or it trains you to find them. Because if you see a mountain that's got a particularly noteworthy peak, it's kind of obvious. Like, I bet if I get to the top of that, there's going to be a rock on the top, right in the middle, and you lift it up, and there's one of these fellas to find. Or, what? Yeah, and they form a certain set pattern. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of start to develop a feel for where they're going to be, and this just means you keep want to push on for the next. I'll just get around the next corner, or I just want to just get to the top of that mountain, or I'll just sail over to that one, and before you know it, yeah, another 2 hours have gone. Um, but I managed to complete what is, I guess, this game's equivalent of the pendants. You have these
Mm.
four divine beasts. They're called. They're like special challenges, and I know that you have to do all four of these, and then I'm not quite sure what happens after that. And I've never got to the point that I'd completed one of these, and I've done the first one, so that felt really satisfying. But I have a feeling I've probably put in about 15 hours, and I think,
I was wondering that how long the
yeah,
game is.
I think I've put in about 15 hours, between 15 and 20. But the way I play these games is a little bit like you. I'm expecting I could probably do 150 in this, which is both amazing and then really, really daunting because you've got to, like you describing, if you don't stay with it, like as someone wise once said, once you leave a game's left you. I think it might have been on about something else, but um, and my weakness is massive games like this. So I'm also playing a massive game on the PlayStation, and I'm trying to. It's like trying to spin plates, you know.
Yeah.
It's like if I let any one of these stop, I'm screwed, and I'm gonna have to come back in a year and start again, which I've done on both of these games now. I think both
Yeah.
of them. I'm on my third start of both of these games.
Yeah.
And it's just so stupid. Like, if I'd just carried on and not lost that time, yeah,
I did exactly the same a long time ago with Final Fantasy VII. I literally got halfway through that game, but I was playing it every single day, and then I just dropped it. Weeks passed, and I've never gone back to it, and I just lost the thread.
yeah,
But you're right. It's sad when it's distraction, isn't it? Sometimes, or so much choice that you, like you say, if you leave a game, that's it.
yeah. It's a modern problem. It's certainly my problem. All right. Well, I think it's time to take a quick break, and then we can. What are we talking about after the break, Grandad?
Well, I have been to an interesting place that you might want to frequent. That's all I will say for
Oh,
now.
okay, interesting. I know you like to get out and about, whereas I'm.
I have been out and about this month.
All right. Well, let's take a break, and you can tell me where you've been. God, oh, it's so damn hot. Unbelievable. bring on autumn.
No, don't bring it on.
Bring it on, autumn. Get rid of this summer. All right, we're back.
We're back.
I've taken a bath in dry ice, and I'm still too hot. Actually, I did get my fingers stuck to ice cubes earlier. Have you ever had that?
I have had that. Yeah.
I was surprised how long this ice cube was stuck to my finger for. Like I expected, this will just drop off in a minute. But no, that thing was stuck on my finger really quite firmly, and I was really loath to pull it off because I thought this could just tear my skin. So I had to turn on the hot tap and run my finger and the ice cube under the hot tap until it gently parted. I don't know why I'm having this problem. I've never had this problem with ice cubes before.
Oh,
But this particular ice cube tray makes apparently really, really strong ice cubes, which that in itself doesn't make much sense. Like, what's the difference? But I swear, an ice cube out of an ice cube bag, which is what I normally use, and I've switched up. These things are like, yeah, they're lethal. Anyway, this is the danger of summer. You don't get this problem in the winter.
yeah.
Right. So while we're still talking about summer, you teased us earlier with some more summer adventures in the real world, yet still related to gaming. So, where have you been, Grandad?
I did, yes. So, I was on a recent family excursion, and as I am always prone to do, I did a bit of kind of rooting around and exploring, and I found myself entering an arcade bar. Not just any bar. So I must say I was in Liverpool.
Would you call that a barcade?
Is that a barcade? I don't know. It's a multi-floored arcade experience. This was.
If it was me running this,
Yeah.
place, I'd be calling it a barcade. I'd have barcade
Yeah.
right
Now,
above the top. Mr. Tech's barcade.
what it was called was Arcanes. So this is in Liverpool, and it's called that because there is a Cane's brewery. So obviously they fused arcade and Cane's brewery together because I think it's in like the brewery quarter of Liverpool. So not far from the centre. So if anyone knows Liverpool well, I was able to walk to it from the centre of Liverpool. I would say it's about 10-15 minutes. The interesting thing is I was literally only going to kind of have a bit of a view. I was on my own because I'd kind of departed from family for various reasons to have a bit of, yeah, kind of alone time. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll see if there's any retro gaming shops or anything retro to do. So I got there, quite an impressive looking building, walked up to the counter to inquire the price. And by that time, there was about 20 or 30 kids and families behind me. So I felt that was it, as the point of no return. So I will say it does sound a lot. So it was £25 to get in. However, this place is 3 huge floors of multiple arcade units, machines, consoles. There is an additional, which made me laugh, there's an additional adult section where you have to type in a code because they give you a wristband.
Right.
And when you type in the code and you literally get a separate kind of turnstile into another area. All that seems to be there is lots more kind of vending machines, dance arcade machines, and Mario Kart Arcade GP2. I didn't see anything particularly adult orientated, but it was a lot quieter. But to be fair, I say once you pay the £25, everything is free. Um, you can obviously purchase alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks. You can walk around with the drinks, which is quite, neat. Fairly pricey, but all the games are free. And for someone who was just kind of going in as a bit of a kind of recce, I kid you not, I spent about 2.5 hours in there on my own, and it was great fun.
Mm.
Uh, there was console set up. There was things like Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, yeah, Mega Drive, but there was a lot of upright arcade machines. There was a lot for me in particular. It's quite interesting to get on things like, Outrun Arcade, yeah, Mario Kart GP, all the kind of stuff is impossible to emulate at home.
Mm.
But yeah, really nice atmosphere, um, loads and loads of choice, and you just kind of milled about and just, yeah, whatever took your kind of fancy, had to go on. Um, yeah, I was really impressed. So initially I was a bit shocked at the price, but then when you factor in if you're getting 2, 3, 4 hours worth of enjoyment out of it, um, yeah, really entertaining. So I would fully recommend it. I think you would enjoy it, Mr. Tech. I think definitely if we return or we go to somewhere like this, yeah, it's certainly worth an afternoon of our time.
Yeah, I'd be well up for that. I don't think there's any but there must be something like that in my area, but I haven't really discovered it. I do know one place in like a shopping arcade near me that has a few random arcade games, a few of those uh, dancing ones with the feet, and you have to, but it's more the classic stuff. I would like to walk into a room and be able to play. I think what I really want is to play the sit-in cabinet Star Wars game. I think that's what I want.
Yeah, things
That
like that.
that was the one. There's a few
Yeah,
like that you just can't recreate. A bit of that, a bit of Outrun. If I could find that Operation Wolf with the actual gun, that would be sweet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When
And
you
that's
when you play the arcade games the way they're set up, then are they just you just press a button to go? There's no you just
yeah, it's
use
all
the
like
credits.
free. Yeah,
Does
it's
that does that mean you can effectively just keep continuing then and complete these things?
yep,
That's
yeah,
that. Now that's cool. That's cool.
yeah, yeah. And like you say, um, for me, it was things that you never really see much out in the wild. So I was playing Outrun 2 on a massive kind of sit-in, yeah, unit, and it was great because you just don't you forget, don't you, how much power a lot of these things have when you're moving around and the rumble and the massive screens and things. That and I like say things like Star Wars, Operation Wolf, you can't ever emulate that the real feel of that kind of unit. And as I say, you've got so much choice. I mean, I don't know how many arcade machines they've got, but there was, there's probably about 40, 50 machines minimum on every single floor. Um, it seems to be quite a popular um, area because there are other arcade clubs, and I have been to a few before. So there's the Arcade Club, and you've got one in Bury, Blackpool, and Leeds.
Hmm.
They seem to be the main players of that. Is literally what they do, and like you say, it's authentic because they try and sell real machines. You're not just going into a club where it's just banks and banks of MAME emulated units that we could all do at home.
Yeah, you don't want that, do you? You want
Yeah,
the real deal, the real old
yeah,
machines.
yeah.
Some of these machines must be if they're authentic from the actual period when they were first made or whatever. Like you'd think they'd almost get to a point where you don't really want people playing them because
Yeah,
they're heirlooms now. If it when it busts, it is are there still people around that know how to fix these and can patch them up? I mean, I think that's probably one of the reasons why you need to pay 25 quid a visit, because it keeping these things running when there's not
Yeah.
many of them. You can't order a replacement circuit board for Operation Wolf from Tato, can you? I mean, you've got to.
That's you make a very good point because I saw it more in the Bury Arcade Club, and there were various points of the day when we went where machines were just literally offline, but then you saw little mechanics kind of going in and trying to fuse, yeah, arcade boards together and stuff.
Little,
So
but they, especially small mechanics where they like
especially they're always little
scuttling
mechanics
around.
creep into the kind of crevices of things. I mean, Arcane's does a blend because there are uprights that are probably clearly running they're either running the original arcade board in a nice new arcade unit, which again, that's still authentic, isn't it? But yeah, it didn't seem to be any. Say there's no kind of multi MAME upright cabinets or anything. But yeah, certainly in Bury, yeah, you would notice that machines would just be offline for a number of hours. They come back because, like you say, these things are 20, 30, uh, if not more years old now, aren't they? So constant hammering, kids, families. I mean, they must
Yeah.
get a hell of a lot of use, but it's really nice to see that everyone, especially the people at Arcanes and the arcade clubs, they're trying to preserve that history. And it's really interesting for me to see the range of ages of people who were there. It wasn't just a lot of granddads. There was a lot of younger people uh, enjoying consoles which they've only ever heard of and never actually owned in the day. So I think that's really nice to see as well. So it's keeping that alive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. I was curious, and I was going to ask you what's the demographic like in there, because I can imagine people that grew up with it and oldies like us who have those memories want to go and revisit them. I was couldn't quite visualize what would make a younger person want to step in there. I mean, if they've grown up with video games and they've explored retro stuff and they've got a taste for it, and that's a lovely thought that someone could be picking up on all these old things and
Mhm.
experiencing something that was, completely um, not their generation. Because if you're a kid and you play Fortnite at home, or you play it on your mobile phone, I don't know. Part of me thinks, are they going to just look at an arcade game and go, "Well, yeah, that's crap, isn't it? Like, look at the graphics; it's no good." But if there's some allure to it and the physicality, I think that's the thing
Mm,
that would really strike it home, is when you see the actual the sit-in machines. That's from such a different era.
yeah, yeah.
You said they had the Mario Kart thing.
Yeah, Mario Kart are there too. So there's Mario Kart GP and Mario Kart GP 2, but like a sit-in. Um, I don't think that's available anywhere else. I think that's only an arcade machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, lot of fun that. And the thing is, it was quite hard to get. That was probably the hardest game to get on because of wasn't people were constantly on it. But they had other interesting things that you never see. I don't know if you've ever played a game called Darius Burst, like a shooter. Um, and it's
Darius definitely rings a bell as a
yeah.
shooter, I think. Yeah.
Um, this was the funny thing because this game was in the adult section, and the arcade cabinet is ridiculously big. It's like a 3 screen sitting cockpit.
Oh wow.
Really impressive, and I say you never see things like that.
Oh my
But
god,
yeah,
that's huge. I'm looking at it
yeah,
now.
yeah. And interestingly, that was in the adult coded section, but there's probably not many machines like that in existence. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe they keep the kiddies off of these things just to. limit the chance
There
of being
again.
completely mangled to death. No offense to any kids out there who are listening. Take care of your vintage arcade games.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I must. I keep saying this. I must get myself in your vicinity and then make a trip somewhere to do some of these things because, yeah, I would enjoy that a great deal.
No, really good.
So I have a little bit of gaming news to talk about. In that I acquired about a month ago now, I think, another retro handheld.
I do also.
I couldn't help myself. I talked myself into it by deciding that even though I've got the Miu Mini, which is my favorite, and I've got the Steam Deck, but I can't. That's great for emulation, but I cannot play that handheld. It gives me some bizarre hand paralysis thing that I still can't quite work out, but I just cannot play that thing handheld. So I talked myself into this by deciding that if I just have one horizontal form factor handheld, then I'll probably be good because I've got a good vertical, and I wanted one with some analog sticks as well. So I bought myself the Retroid Pocket Mini version 2 direct from Retroid in Hong Kong, I think it is, and it arrived super quick. And this is you got, what am I talking about? You've got a Retroid. You know what Retroid are.
Yeah, I've got Retroid Pocket 4 Pro.
4 Pro, yeah. So Retroid and Android-based devices. I'll talk about that in a minute. I've got a slight gripe there. But yeah, the Retroid Pocket Mini. I don't know if it's close in power to the 4 Pro, maybe not as much as the 5. I don't think, but it's a nice dinky little thing, and it has this gorgeous AMOLED screen, obviously touchscreen as well, which is really handy to have on these things. And yeah, first impressions. I say first impressions. I've had it about a month, but I'm still not quite up to your level of build on this thing. So I'm still filling it up and tinkering with it, and I've got a bit of work left to do to try and get every system configured exactly how I like it with the right screen set up and all that stuff, which is simultaneously a really enjoyable task and a massive pain in the backside because I would quite like to be past that now. But yeah, it's great. It's really really nice. It's a a really perfect little size. I think you'd get tired. I was playing some God of War PlayStation on it, and it looks fantastic, and it's running it upscaled, so it looks super crisp. I think you would get tired after sort of about the hour mark with the sticks because because it's quite a small device. You do have to kind of get your thumbs in a specific place for the stick. It's not quite, but that's fine. It's I can live with that. But yeah, so yeah, loving it, loving it. I was trying to decide between this one and they also do what they call the Retroid Pocket Classic. Have I got that right? Yeah, the Retroid Pocket Classic, which is a vertical form factor one, Game Boy style. It has the same screen, which is one of the draws. I think it's pretty much the same power as well, but obviously that one's vertical. I was almost going to get that, but this one convinced me because of the thumbsticks and being horizontal. So I think I'm done now. I think I'm holding fire on any new devices. I think I'm gonna settle for these ones. But the thing that annoys me, which is not going to be a problem for everyone, but worth mentioning. If your main computer at home that you use to access this thing is a Mac, which mine is, it's really not friendly with Android based
Yeah.
file systems. It's a real pain. You can't just plug the SD card from it into a reader and just read it. You just can't because the file systems. I don't know offhand the technical name for the file system on Android machines, what it formats to, but it's not compatible in the way that like a PC based or a Linux based is.
Mhm.
So I've had to use bits of software on the Mac that claim to be able to kind of let you access this, either plug it in or even do it over the Wi-Fi. And it's so frustrating because it's like sometimes it works flawlessly, and you think this is great, and then you come back and you try it again, and it just keeps dropping, or you try and copy stuff and it doesn't actually copy it, or you can't, for some reason you can't see what you've copied if you look at the device itself, but you can see them on the computer, and so you're not quite sure. Did I copy? And it's like, oh, I don't want this. This is
No.
spoiling this. This is really spoiling this. So I don't know how the pros are doing it. I don't know how like Retro Russ is doing it in Tech Dweeb or whatever. Maybe I'll message them and they might have sympathy on me and tell me what to do. So yeah, I'm getting there, and as you've seen, as I know you would have seen because you would follow content that I've posted on our YouTube channel, Grandad and Mr Tech YouTube channel. I've been discovering some games through that on the Retroid. What did we have? We had Beam Rider on the Atari, which was a game I knew from my C64 days. Amazing. And the Special Cybernetic Attack Team. I think that's the acronym, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
SCAT on the NES, which is yeah, amazing. Heartily recommend everyone go check that game out. I think I've underestimated, or perhaps not underestimated, but more likely never really engaged with how good the music can be on NES games. I don't know why I'd shortchanged it. I mean, I knew that the SNES was capable of some great music and it just sounds so unique. But I've been really impressed now with a number of games that I booted up on the NES, and the music is just amazing. The music in this game is just so funky, and the NES has this particular bass sound that sort of bobbles along, and it's just put your headphones in. This was the other thing I wasn't doing. I actually took a
Yeah.
train trip and I needed some headphones. It's like, oh, these things sound really, really good with headphones. Why have I not been
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
the full experience here? So yeah, brilliant. I think that game and Darkwing Duck on the NES so far, the music in those games, don't know who's responsible, but well done.
Will you be teasing some Darkwing Duck? Is that a hint to maybe future videos?
Well, I might do. Let's see how it goes. As you
Yeah.
know, I only have the time it takes from starting a game to a game over.
Yes.
Darkwing Duck is quite challenging.
Mm.
So depending on how I'm feeling, I don't think I'd get too far in that. Is quite a challenging game, I must say, as a lot of those platformers were. But yeah, full of character and just the music, so good. But speaking of NES, I know you have something else that you wanted to talk about, didn't you? That you discovered from NES
Yeah.
recently.
Well, I must have to thank Nintendo Lad actually for introducing me to something that was completely off my radar, and it's something called 3D Sen, which, according to their marketing, is a unique emulator that transforms classic 2D NES games into stunning 3D voxel experiences. I had never, as I say, come across it. Nintendo lad booted it up, and to be fair, it really does. You can literally through Steam. So you do have there is a element of purchase on sale. I think it's about £7. Normally it's about £12. But basically it's a NES emulator that is running through Steam, and then you load up your ROMs, and then it turns Nintendo games into 3D Nintendo games, which on paper you think, yeah, okay, but you can actually manipulate the entire planes and you can move it all around. I mean, some games work better than others, but you are literally playing Nintendo games as you have never played them before. So, and not just that, you'll like this, Mr. Tech. So, on top of that, there is, and I purchased this, there is a VR module for it. So,
Oh
you are
wow.
not only play in 3D, you can put on your Oculus Quest or whatever, VR. I think it was with all VR headsets actually. Put on your VR headset, go into Steam VR and play NES in 3D in VR. I'm not
Sounds
yet.
very good. Yeah, I have you prepped me about this, so yeah, I've had a little look at this. Um and yeah, I'm really smitten given that I don't really have a history with the NES and I don't hold any particular passion. I mean, I obviously some of the games on this I recognize like Punch Out and things. Everyone's
Yeah.
tinkered with that. Um yeah, I was blown away by this. It's doing something that on the face of it seems quite subtle. It's not it's not an overboard thing. When you say 3D, it's kind of like the Tetris one that you showed me. It's not it's 3D to a degree, isn't it? It's like a subtle 3D representation that the screen has some depth, and obviously the blocks have got depth.
Mm.
And different games utilize it in different ways. Like the Punch Out one is yeah, one of the most impressive I've seen. The fact that the ring there is fully 3D. It is. It makes these old games and old graphics just suddenly there's something really magical about this. Um,
Mm.
am I right in thinking you might know this that at the moment is it limited to the games that they've kind of adapted? So have the makers of this had to have they had to work out an application for specific games like or can you chuck anything at it?
Yeah, so I thought that. So I think there's about 100 games that are more fully optimized that would work much better, but you can throw, in theory, any NES game at it and it will just do an element of 3Ding it. So I don't quite know the technicalities of it all, but yeah, when you're presented with it, you get a menu and it lists all the games. So I would imagine those are the games that have had more work and curation, and yeah, a lot of work has gone, yeah, more work's gone into that. But yeah, if you chucked something random at it, it will have a go at it, but it might not look as polished or um yeah, 3D as some of the others. But it's a very, like I say, I think it needs to be seen, and we might well show some of the games on our channel. But once you kind of see it, you almost kind of can't go back. You come, wow, I've never seen Castlevania like that.
Yeah.
I really want to play it like that.
Oh
It's
wow, I've just seen the screenshot of Duck Hunt.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
yeah,
That
yeah,
that just
yeah.
looks incredible. I need to experience that. That looks
Yeah,
amazing.
it really does. As soon as you see it and or play it, and you think, Wow, I've never experienced a NES game like that. I really want to kind of tuck into that. So it's
Do you
really affordable. Yeah.
to bring down the excitement for this though? A Nintendo not going to just see this and stamp their lawyers all over this like tomorrow.
Mm. Yeah.
How is
That's
this? Because looking at it and so I have had a very quick go with it myself. This seems like the kind of thing that Nintendo would do or could do or should do themselves. I could fully have seen these screenshots and thought, oh yeah, Nintendo have just added this to the Virtual Console on the Switch too. You can play these NES games in a like
yeah.
faux 3D, and it looks so on point for something they would do to breathe life into their games that I
Mm.
can't imagine they're seeing this and thinking, oh yeah, that's cool, yeah, oh nice one, go ahead. Oh, you're charging for that, are you? Yeah, perfect. Like this
Yeah.
is this not just going to be crushed?
I did wonder
And
that. Quite skeptical, but also this is on Steam. This is on a big, well-known platform. This is quite new. I think this came out 19th of June, but it's through Steam. But you're right. I'm a bit dubious about the legalities of that because that's literally what it is promoting. But you would require, obviously, a NES ROM. It boots it up, but it's providing a Nintendo experience, isn't it? So whether Nintendo likes that or not, like I say, they're charging for it. But
yeah,
um,
I have fears. I fear this might all fade away. I hope it doesn't. Um,
I
Nintendo just seems so stubborn that if they had half a brain, they would go and speak to the people that are doing this and say, "Hey, we love that.
mm,
Do you want to? Can we buy that, or can we? Let's work with you on this." And why not do that? Why wouldn't they do that? But I imagine they're sitting there looking at this, figuring out ways to squash it. I mean, it's almost like the kind of thing that you'd expect a modern Virtual Boy or was it Virtual Boy or Virtua Boy? Virtual
yeah,
Boy. It's kind of like what that would do now if they were doing that and had done that. you know? Um,
yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? And I suppose Steam or the creators of this are providing a way to play Nintendo, and I suppose the legality side of things, if you've got a copy of Mario Brothers on the Nintendo and you've got the ROM of it, you can boot this ROM into this software and play in 3D. But yeah, I'm not because
mm. I guess it's
well,
covered by the same legality that makes emulation allowed because,
yeah.
well, again, having said that, Nintendo have squashed Switch emulators. I don't know why they've squashed Switch emulation and haven't batted an eyelid at NES and Super Nintendo emulation, which has been around for
Mm.
who knows what they think of it all and what they, yeah.
It's going to come down to money and how much it's going to impact, isn't it? So I suppose Nintendo have their online so if you pay for subscription then you'll get now GameCube, Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, etc., etc. But yeah, I suppose it's how much that's hurting them or not, or whether they're looking at that side of things. But Switch, I totally get because that's a current console, isn't it? So,
Mm.
but
So that was 3D Sen, wasn't it? That's what 3D Sen? 3D Sen with a SEN, like NES backwards. Yeah, go check it out, everyone. Credit to Geod Studio who make that. I don't know how you pronounce your name, Geod. Geod. I don't know. But yeah, if you have any interest in all things Nintendo and ways to revisit in retro games, then yeah, go check that out.
Mm. No, very good. But yeah, I'm going to explore some more of that. But yeah, it's got to be seen, isn't it? Basically,
Has to be seen. Yeah, it is true. Has to be seen. It doesn't. It looks amazing on screenshot, but yeah, go and experience it.
Mm.
All right. I think that about wraps us up, Grandad, for this episode. Do you reckon? I think we've covered it all, haven't we? We've catalogued everything. We know exactly how many games we've got now. Oh, sorry about that. That's me again. I already must stop that. We know exactly what we've got in our shelves. All we have to do is go away and play them.
That's all we've got to do now. So I know exactly what to do, but I need the time to play 428 games.
Go and play your games. This is the final message from today's podcast, everyone. Stop listening to this podcast. Go and play some of your goddamn games.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.